Hi everyone, in this video you're going to learn about graphs and formulas. You're going to be learning about tables and graphs. Alright, so an example could be, the table below shows temperature changes on a day in February in Dongen. So we get a table with time 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 all the way up to 24 and a temperature. As you can see, there is no increase that is stable, so no increase is each time the same. So over here there is a decrease of -1. Over here we have an increase because it's getting warmer with 4. It is +1, +3, +2, and you can go on and on and on. As you can see, there is no pattern. So that means when we're going to draw a graph, it will look a bit like this. It's not a straight line, it's just some random points. Because of the randomness of the points, you should not draw a straight line. What you should do is you should connect the points not using a protected triangle and not using a ruler. But first, you need to label the axis. So we know that our x-axis is now called our time axis, and that we have a degree Celsius, so for the temperature, on the y-axis, and that we have a title, because our title is called Temperature Changes February in Dongen. Then you are able to connect the lines. As you can see, I tried to make it as fluent as possible, because I did not use a ruler or a protected triangle. If we want to know how warm or how cold it was on 10 o'clock, then we're going to have a look at time. Alright, so 10 o'clock. And then we will have a look. Alright, so that is 7 degrees. You could also see that in our table. So at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's 7 degrees Celsius. But what about 12 o'clock in the evening? We know that 10 o'clock in the evening is 22. So we can see that it's 0. And we can see that in our table as well. As you can see, there's nothing about, for instance, 3 o'clock in the morning. We have no idea, but we can approximately read this from our graph. Not from our table, but we can see it in our graph. 3 o'clock is over here. So if we go down, I shall use my pen as well. If I go down, and then you need to use a protected triangle, we see over here, so if we go that way, we see that it is approximately -1.5. So this is how you can read information from graphs and from formulas. Alright, but what about tables and graphs? Sometimes the y-axis becomes way too long. That is when we use a tier line. So this is a tier line. As you can see, you always need to start from 0. That's a must. But to go from 0 all the way up to 2900, we need to use a lot of steps. Or we can use a tier line. This means, alright, 2900, and then you can use steps of 100 equals 3000, 3100, but underneath over here it just continues. So this will be 2800, 2700, etc. all the way until 0. So that's really an easy way to use a tier line for. Please have a look at how you can read graphs and tables, and if you have any questions, then please let me know. In the next video you will learn how you can draw graphs yourself.